Awesome. All right, we are here tonight. It is Monday, February 3rd, and we have a guest speaker tonight, Lizzie Turner. She is a diamond coach. She's been coaching for a few years, and we've had the opportunity to get to know Lizzie a little bit better. I just saw her in Philly at the diamond retreat that she worked so hard to earn. And it's just been so fun getting to know her. So Lizzie, I'm going to go ahead and just kick it off to you.
Perfect. Hello. I see faces on here that I don't know, which I'm excited for because it's always new. Like, it's always fun with coaching is to just meet a bunch of people that you would normally never meet in life. And I think it's crazy because we were just talking about how, like, Lauren and Lindsay, you're both in Iowa, right? Both of you? Yeah. You're both in Iowa. I'm not in Iowa. I'm in Wisconsin. Julianne's in California. Trina's in Michigan. We have people from all over. And I think it's so powerful that even though we don't get together in person all the time, and we don't get to see each other all the time in person, we still have these bonds and connections virtually, and we've been able to get to know each other incredibly well over, like, I've been in this for 4 years almost, which is insane to me. But I've probably only met Lauren and Lindsay in person 3 or 4 times. So super crazy to me, but I absolutely love it. It has really opened up my world as somebody who, and I'll get into this a little bit, but as somebody who was kind of isolated in the northern part of the state of Wisconsin and was kind of focused on school and didn't really have time to go out and network and have these opportunities to meet new people. And I'm just really grateful that I have this community of women, the bigger teams and everything like that, to really keep me on track and to remind me that I'm made for more and that going for more is more than okay, and I should be pushing for more at all times. So super grateful for that. I just wanted to kind of kick it off with that. But a little bit about me. I'm a dog mom. I kicked him out because I didn't want him whining the entire time. I am a fiance recently. I just graduated college last May, so a lot's been going on. I work at a credit union, which was not the path I thought I'd go down, but more on that later. I live in Wisconsin, and I'm the founder of Team Fierce and Fit. We are a small but mighty team, and it's been really fun to see our girls grow and just blossom over the last 6 months even. The team has really transformed a lot more. So when I started a team, I was nervous. It was something that I was like, I don't think I'm qualified for this. I don't know if I should start a page. It got weird. I didn't know where to start with creating a name. And then all that could keep like ringing through my head at that time was, it doesn't matter if everything's perfect. It doesn't matter if your team cover photo is beautiful. It doesn't matter if you have 2 people in there or 20 people in there or 100 people in there. It doesn't matter what it looks like as long as you just start. And as long as you just take action. And that's kind of going to be the big picture of the night is, at the end of the day, you just have to take the action. And that's something that even 4 years in, I have to remind myself, because it's really easy to get comfortable. You're rocking your workouts, you're getting your shake in, your nutrition's going pretty good. So then it gets almost uncomfortable to go for more, to want to level up, to want to be even better than you currently are showing up. Because I always think like, oh, I'm showing up better than I ever did before. That's great. But then you get complacent. And then you kind of just like stagger. Where if you're constantly looking at, okay, what's next? And that's going to be a big part of my story to Diamond, is you're going to go a lot further. And Julianne always says, and all the leaders always say, and you're going to be like, I've heard this a million times, you've got to be all in. You can't keep hitting the brake up and down. Like, it's just not going to work. You're not going to get anywhere. You're going to get stuck, and it's not going to feel good. So just know that when they're telling you these things, it's because it's actually legit. And it took me getting to that point of being stuck after hitting a goal to realize it and then have to combat that. So if you can go into it knowing that they're not crazy and they're giving you good advice, you're going to be super grateful you did. So that's just a little like overlay of everything. A little bit about me. I actually joined Beachbody after my freshman year of college. I had gained 25 pounds my first semester freshman year. I really wanted to lose the weight. And in the past, I had always turned to really negative ways of weight loss. hopping on the scale 5-6 times a day, really restricting myself to what I was eating. And there was really unhealthy behaviors and mindsets surrounding my idea of weight loss. I grew up watching my mom drink Slim Fast shakes every morning for breakfast, yet she was still overweight. It didn't make sense to me. Why could you be drinking a diet shake every single morning for breakfast, wasting all this money, and you're still not getting results? Where was that disconnect? I didn't grow up learning how to eat healthy. I didn't grow up learning what a good, healthy mindset was, what positive affirmations were. That wasn't my lifestyle. But being able to learn that as a 19-year-old girl, I like to say girl, I mean, I was technically a woman, but a girl that really didn't know what the heck she was doing in life was powerful. And I'm 22 now, which I'm still very young for somebody in this business, but it's grown me into somebody that is now positive, knows what she wants in life, doesn't go out every weekend, takes care of her body. I always say, like, the 20s are the weirdest time ever. You have people doing more than you in life, and you have people that are still out partying at the bars like they're 19 with a fake ID. Like, it's so bizarre. My friends are having babies, and my other ones are getting trashed 5 days a week. Like, it's just this wide spectrum. So when you're sitting here as somebody who's 22 and you're like, why is this? Why? Like, am I crazy? Am I crazy for wanting more? You have to really look at yourself and look at who you're surrounding yourself with. Do you want to be like the people that are going out 5 days a week? Or do you want to be like the people who want more for their lives, are making those moves, are doing the things that are going to grow them as people? So that's been my biggest mindset shift, I think, is it's okay to not fit into the 22-year-olds of my life. And it's okay to look at Lauren and Lindsay and Julianne and Trina and all the amazing women we surround ourselves with and be like, I'm excited for that point in my life because I know it's going to be better than the last 20 years. I know that it's going to be possible to have a fit pregnancy. I know that it's going to be possible to have a strong marriage. All of those things become a possibility. And for me at the beginning, it was really hard to see how I, as a 19-year-old, could connect to people that were starting to hit 30, starting to have families, starting to have kids. And it really took leaning into what can you learn from them instead of having them be just like you. And maybe that's not your story. Maybe you are a mom and you have kiddos, and this is amazing because it's showing you that you can do it too. But if you're seeing people that are further ahead than you, and this can be tied back to business, just know that it's possible for you too. Just know that if they can do it, you can do it too. So if they can have a fit pregnancy, you can have a fit pregnancy. If they can hit diamond, you can hit diamond. Relate to them in the way that you need to be related to, and structure what they're saying so that it's what exactly you need to hear. I heard Trina on the call. I was like, who? No, I don't think it was Trina. It was Julie Voris. I just watched the call with Julie Voris. And she said, get in the room. And when she said that, I was like, oh man, like that's good. Getting on these calls, getting to live events, going to coffee with some coaches on the team, going and doing a workout class, going and hanging out, like that's the space you want to be in. Not everybody in life is willing to level up. And as a 22-year-old, which I've already kind of talked about, that's obvious. So if I want to level up in life, if I want more in life, who should I surround myself with? People that want to level up, people that want more, people that are doing that. Because then they can show me how to do it too. So it's not so much about who is close to you, kind of what we were talking about at the beginning of the call, who is close to you in proximity, but who you choose to invite in. We're states away, and here we are on a Monday night on a call. That's powerful. It's the 21st flipping century. Come on, people. Like, we could do some amazing things. Like, this is insane. So lean into the resources the team provides. I really want to kind of angle this call in a way of like kind of where I was, how I got to Diamond, what kind of stopped me at first, because there were roadblocks, per usual. That's what happens in life. There's roadblocks. And then once I got there, what that looked like. So before I came to Beachbody, I was 25 pounds heavier than I was. But it's been a mindset shift, because you have to know that when I graduated high school and went into college, I was extremely underweight. So gaining 25 pounds, some of that was probably necessary to be healthy, weight-wise. But for me, I wasn't in that mindset shift to realize that I was extremely underweight and I needed to gain weight in a healthy way to be healthy. So now looking back, if I look back to where I was the summer before I went to school, I am 25 pounds heavier now, but I'm stronger. I have a better relationship with food. I know how to treat myself. I know how to talk to myself. I know what my body needs. And that's been the pivotal story that I've constantly been sharing with my team when I'm connecting with them, with people on social media, in my posts, in my stories. I kind of dabble in that throughout the whole time to really show people that this is who I was. But in that, don't just live in who you were, live in where you're going to. Because it's really easy to look back and say, this is what I used to be like. This is what it is. This isn't me anymore. Cool, but then who are you now? How can people that are where you were before see where you are now? What can they look forward to by you helping them? What can they look forward to by, maybe they don't have a good relationship with food, but now I do. How did I get there? I use the tools that we have and the resources that we have to get there. You're showing them that this is who you used to be, this is who you are now, and this is how you got there. People get freaked out when they're like, this was you before and this is you now. What the heck changed? They automatically assume the worst. They assume you paid millions of dollars to get a fit bod and that you worked out 20 hours a day. I don't know, something ridiculous. They assume like it's so not attainable. So you really have to show people, including your coaches, where you were before, where you are now, and how you got there. Same thing with your business. When you go diamond, you have to have 2 emeralds. Well, in order to go diamond, you had to become an emerald. So show your emeralds, or people that are pushing for emerald, where you were before you were emerald, where you are now that you're emerald, and how you got there. How did I get to emerald? I signed up at the time, my friend and my mom. People have friends and moms. Or spouses and friends, spouses and moms. It doesn't seem that hard. But if I would have just said, go add 2 people, they're going to be, oh my gosh, I have to send out 1 million invites. I don't know where to start. Where do I even begin? It becomes scary because they don't know. Sorry, that's my fiance. And then, so distracted, sorry. And then, so that's how you show them to get there. Then what's really cool is when you're pushing and helping people grow, it becomes less scary for them. So then what can they do? They can duplicate that with their coaches. So by creating things that can help your coaches grow, but teaching them how to do it in a very this is where I was, this is where I am, this is how I got there, very open and transparent way, then they can clearly explain that to their coaches. So that's how you tie that into emerald. Another thing that I really struggled with at first was being vulnerable and real with my people that I was helping. I thought I had to be perfect and on my A game all the time. I'm their coach. I needed to show up for them. I needed to be the number one motivator. I needed to be all in. Yeah, but I'm a human. I'm not going to be perfect all the time. That's not why they signed up with me. They signed up with me because I'm a real person that struggles, that overcomes, that works through the hard. That's why they chose to be with you. And I've been telling my coaches this. I've kind of been talking to them repeatedly about this of, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. And the people meant to be there will be there. Sometimes things shift and sometimes things change. But ultimately, as long as you're showing up for your coaches, for your challengers in an authentic way, people will stick around. They don't like fake. They don't like put together. They don't like to look at you and think that your life is perfect. They like to see the messy hair in the early morning workouts where you didn't want to get up and you push play anyway. They like the calls where you're real and you're stumbling over your words because you're showing up anyway. They just want to see you show up. Because what does that inspire them to do? Show up. So if you show up, they'll show up. And I really struggled with that at first because I thought it had to be beautiful graphics in my team page. And we had to do all of these fun things as a team that all the big teams do. There's a big difference between a team that's been building for 10 years and a team that's been building for 6 months. You cannot expect them to be the same. Put it out there, work on it, and just show up as you. Your team might not look like another team, and that's okay. That's actually a big thing that I want to talk about tonight is authenticity. Because like I said, at the beginning, I had a really hard time figuring out who I was in this business. I was 19. A lot of people on the team were like late 20s, early 30s, even in their 40s. Like, okay, we're kind of on different wavelengths. I'm going to class in the morning and you're going and getting 2 kids ready in the morning. Like, okay, I cannot relate. So I really struggled with, and if you go back, I actually just did this the other day because I was curious. If you go back and look at my old Instagram posts and Facebook posts, I sound like a mom. And I was 19 years old, which is fine. I could have been a mom, but I wasn't a mom. I sounded like a mom. I was sounding like the people who were mentoring me instead of sounding like myself. That's not going to work. No one's going to relate to that. No wonder I didn't find success in the beginning. People are like, you're talking like a basic during the week to my face, and then you go on Facebook and you're all trying to be inspirational and momming. Like, what is happening? People were so confused. It was not a good situation. So don't do that. If you're a mom, rock being a mom. If you're a dog mom, rock being a dog mom. But whatever you do, just do you, please. People, that's all they want. Because, like I said, I'd say the first year and a half into my business, it was just not me. I was afraid to say the wrong thing, kind of like with my coaches. I was afraid to say the wrong thing on social media. I was afraid to be too much like myself. And it all came from because in the past, that wasn't necessarily always accepted. That wasn't necessarily something that people wanted to hear. So I was showing up how I thought people wanted me to show up instead of the way I actually wanted to show up. What switched for me and when I started finding success is when I actually started attracting my tribe. Weird, right? They tell you that. Again, these things were drilled into my head. But I was like, no, you got to do what they're doing because they're finding success. Yeah, duh, they're finding success because they're doing what they're telling you to do and you're not doing it. So, okay. Just start small, even just small. Start showing up on social media as you, the way you talk. If you read it out loud to your best friend and they say, that sounds weird, that doesn't sound like you need to change it. If you read it out loud to your husband, your fiance, your boyfriend, whomever, and they're like, that does not sound like you, it needs to change. If your post does not sound like you talking, it needs to change. If your message doesn't sound like something you would say, you need to change. It's okay to be different. I'll never forget Summit last year. Lacey Pagel. Is that her married name now? Pagel? No, that was her maiden name, right? Lacey Pagel. I don't know her current name. It's fine. She got up on stage and she said, I'm not a mom. And I had a hard time with that. And I'm like, girl, I feel that. That was me. And her brand is so on point. So on point. But here's the funny thing. Her brand's on point. But if I tried rocking cattle and cardio, cattle, super unfamiliar. Cardio, absolutely hate. My tribe would be like, what is happening? What are you doing? You go from mom to cattle. Like, that would not work. I have a coach on my team who, I swear to you, was out every weekend during gun season. And literally it's like every dinner, venison, which is how I grew up, which I think is hilarious. But it's like venison for dinner, turkey for dinner. Like, it's just game. And I'm like, okay. And we had a conversation because we went to high school together. And we've invited some of the same people, and they're responding better to her than they were to me. And I've been inviting them for 3+ years. She's been inviting them for 3+ months, like, not very long. And she goes, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, was I not supposed to reach out? I said, no. This is a prime example of attract your tribe, and it works out. If you don't, you're going to invite them for 3 years, and then nothing's going to happen because you're not like them. And sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes your tribe does take some time to come around. However, people that want venison healthy recipes are not my tribe. I am the girl that will tell you how to go to Starbucks and order the best dang hot chocolate you've ever had in your life. Not how to cut up a deer. Not the same. Like, that's just not me. So figure out what it is. And I had a really hard time with it at first because I'm like, I'm just a 20-something-year-old. There's a lot of us. There's nothing special about me. I'm not a mom. I don't have any hobbies. What do I like? It comes down, for me, it took literally, I had done this for a year probably. Like, who am I? Like, I feel so lost in life. Like, I don't even know who I am. I don't know who to attract. It came down to the way I was talking, the things I like to do, the places I went on the weekend, the things I spent my nights doing. So it came down to Starbucks, sitcoms, Ugg boots, and my dog, basically. So basically, I'm a basic, and I had to just embrace it. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, it's so like, you're so basic. Oh, but that's just me. I just have to embrace it. It's fine. So maybe for you, the coach that is like totally like, she's in the woods all the time. She just texted me. She goes, how about this for a team name? And I kid you not, Begging Bucks and Getting Stronger. That's the team name she came up with. And I was like, I love it. I love it. It is so you. I love it. So figure it out. If it's hunting, if it's cows, if it's being basic, you just have to figure it out. Because once you lean into that, it's going to just take you places, I promise. One of the other things I really wanted to focus on tonight is just putting it out into the universe. And this is something that I misunderstood for a good while. I put Diamond in the universe probably 2 years consecutively, and nothing happened. Would you believe it? You can't just say it and expect it to happen. Weird. You have to actually work for it. So if you don't take anything else from this call, I want you to take this. Putting it into the universe is awesome. You're recognizing it. You're sharing it with other people. It's become real to you in a sense because you actually said it. But unless you're willing to put the work in and actually show up for that goal and put the necessary work in, depending on what your goal is, it's not going to happen. It's not just something that you can be like, I'm going to go diamond. And then Beachbody is like, congratulations, you're a diamond coach. Nope, that's not how that works. No. It is very much, I want to go diamond. I'm going to put it in the universe, and I'm going to have roadblocks along the way that I'm going to have to overcome. And I'm going to have A, B, C, D, E, F, G plans to get there, and I'm going to get there. So please, for the love of God, put it in the universe. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't put it in the universe, because it needs to be said. But just know that when you do that, whatever your goal is, emerald, diamond, 1-star, 5-star, I don't care what your goal is, you have to put in the necessary work to get there. And that is something that can get confusing, because you think you have to go really hard all at once, when in reality, it's just consistency. Just showing up consistently over time. Like they say, all the time, on every single team call you ever get on. Just show up consistently. Don't let your foot off the gas. Like, I'm not kidding you guys. These lessons, it took almost 4 years. June will be 4 years. And I'm like, the lessons that I bring to you, the lessons that I share with my own team, are lessons that I've heard for 4 years consecutively. But it took realizing that, hey, those are actually great lessons. Hey, our leaders are really successful, and they really want us to know these things like an easier way than they had to learn them, because they're teaching us these things because that wasn't the way that they were taught it, or they were taught that, but then they had to still kind of live through that. They're trying to ease it up a little bit, so that way you can realize that, oh, this is going to happen. I'm aware of this, and you can keep moving forward. The biggest thing I want to focus on for tonight, and this is why I left like the most time for it, is when you get to diamond and when you're in qualification is, so for diamond, for lifetime diamond, there's technically no qualification. But to go 1-star, or for your sponsor to go 1-star, there's a 6-week qualification. And the biggest thing with diamond is it's not about me or I or my team, but it's about our team. So even though like lifetime diamond, I hit that like right away, don't have to do a qual, I still showed up for a qualification so my sponsor could go 1-star. Because this team, I would have never gotten brought to this team if it wasn't for her. So I showed up to the best of my ability and pushed through qual with my coaches to get there. Because if I was willing to do that for her, my coaches down the road will be willing to do that for me. So, qualification. This is kind of like, it's one of those things where I was like, okay, what do I want to talk about tonight? And this was one of the things, I was literally cooking dinner because I think of my best ideas when I'm not focusing on trying to think of ideas. And for qualification, and this is obviously once you hit diamond, but how do you get through qual? Because qual is a trip. Like, you get to Wednesday and you're like, okay, everything's good to go. And then you wake up Thursday morning and you open your back office and you're like, crap, now I got to do that. Now that has to be adjusted. Now that needs to go active and da 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 da. It is the fastest and slowest 6 weeks of your life. It is brutal. It's great. It's fun, but it's brutal. Yeah. The biggest thing though with it, and this is my biggest recommendation, because before qual, I lacked this with our team, honestly, and now we do not have this issue, is get everybody on the same page. Make sure everybody knows like what's going on. I had girls my second or third week of qual go, what are we pushing for? I was like, I've just been posting it in the team page for 3 weeks. It's fine. I don't care. It's fine. But honestly, get everybody on the same page. Reach out to who needs to help you. And typically that's your downline, your entire downline, and then their downline. And figure out specifically what they need to do and how they need to show up. Look at when their PV went through. Was it 4 weeks ago? Because in a couple weeks, they're going to have to reorder for sure to go active. But then, like I said earlier, don't bank on that one person that needs to go active. Figure out like 3 more plans in case that person doesn't go active. How else can you make that structure work? How else can your diamond be stable throughout qual? Because like I said, it's not until you go through qual. Everyone's like, it's so funny because everybody before qual was like, qual's a trip. It's interesting. And then you go through it actually and you're like, yeah, okay, I understand now. This is brutal, but it's great. The biggest thing is getting everybody on the same page, letting everybody know, sorry, Lauren, letting everybody know how they can specifically help, shouting out the people who are good to go, and encouraging the heck out of those that aren't good to go. Because the last thing you want to do is kind of shame them and make them feel like they are lacking. You want to like encourage them. Show up. This is what we need from you. This is a team effort. Keep looking for those opportunities. Create the excitement. Go live. Do countdowns. The we, not me mindset. And really make it a big team goal and something that's fun and exciting. Because ultimately, like, no one wants to be a part of something if it's not fun. Like, I show up because I love this and it's fun. Sometimes it's hard. It's hard fun, but it's still fun. So that's what I have from you. It was a little all over the place. That's just my style.
No, I thought that was awesome, Lizzie. Okay, first of all, I just want to clarify for diamond. Lizzie was saying that we can really build it up in our heads, which is so true. But if you think about it, really break it down, you need 8 coaches, 8, not 100, not 1,000. You need 8 coaches, and 2 of those coaches need to go emerald. So they need 2 coaches. So it's really not that hard. I heard recently on a call that your business starts when you hit diamond. So instead of making diamond a finish line, make it a goal to get to diamond as soon as possible. And then that's when things start to change. That's when things start to happen. And it's interesting listening to Lizzie talk about taking your foot off the gas, because I think anyone who's been in this for longer than 6 months has probably experienced that. But the thing is half the time you don't realize you've taken your foot off the gas until all of a sudden you start looking around. You're like, oh, they're talking about me. Like that's me right now. That, yeah, okay. I don't know how or when that happened, but apparently I was just like, yeah, I'm going. But then you just stopped doing the things. You stopped doing the consistent actions, and you're like, that's what it means to take your foot off the gas.
I think it's crazy too, because when you're pushing for diamond, you're going at such an intensity, especially close to like in qual. Like you're like, I got this, and keeping that momentum up. And then when you get done with it, you're like, oh, made it through qual. Like, we're good, we're done. And then you're like, no, like that is the worst mindset to have. Not even kidding you. I did that, not good. Because then like you have a week or two where you're like, chill, you're not really doing much. And then all of a sudden your business starts and you're like, okay, this is like, oh no, you got to keep going. Okay. So yeah, just keep it on there. Even just like slightly.
Yeah. Lindsay and I always called it diamonditis. Like, it's a disease. You hit diamond and then you just slowly roll over and you're like, I just need a break. But it's like Lindsay said, you need a tracker. And if you just focus on even small numbers, but just consistency with the vital behaviors of, self-care, inviting others to join you, recognizing people who are having success. And I'm missing one. I have 3 vital behaviors. There's the 4th one. Drink your shake, PD. Yeah, keep reading your PD. Like, all of this stuff is so important. So, gosh, I'm all over the place.
That's how I felt. I was like, oh God, please let them hear something they need to hear tonight.
Funny. I love how you talked about being yourself in this journey, because I think it's really easy to try and be exactly like your mentor. And the same thing, like sometimes you don't even realize that you're doing it. But I love your example of like comparing yourself to Lacey. I'm so bummed that she's not on tonight.
I was really hoping she was going to be, because I was like, that was a pivotal moment for me.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting, if you have never been to Team Rockstar Fit Day at Summit, first of all, get your butt there. Second of all, bring a notebook and get ready to take some freaking notes, because that is the best day of Summit. It's so crazy, because I bet she doesn't even know that like sentence about how I'm not a mom, and everybody started laughing. Like, we kind of giggled because we're all like, oh my gosh, yeah, the whole room is moms. That sentence about finding out who she was, like, that was huge for me. It sat with me that whole rest of that trip, and I was like, oh, like, yeah, I can just be me. That's okay. She rocks cows. I can rock whatever I want. Like, yeah.
So true.
Like I said, I bet she doesn't even know.
Probably not. I love it. I can't wait for her to watch this recording. But like, yeah, just focus on those 6 roles. That's why they're there. It's you, you figure out what those are, and those are the people that you want to talk to in your current phase of life. Does anybody have any questions for Lizzie?
Touching on that too, Lauren, just sorry to piggyback off that, about phases of life. So when I started this, I was in college, brand new baby freshman, like right after. And it took me through roommates, dating, meeting my now fiance, it took me through a lot of crazy life things. And if there's anything I can tell you is, when life gets hard, lean the heck in. I've seen so many people over the last 4 years, when life gets hard, lean out. And it's like gut wrenching, because you're like, why are you leaning out? This is exactly the space you need to be in. Like, just lean in. I just needed to really say that, because you guys can probably relate to this, the last 4 years, the last however long you've been in this, there's been roadblocks and there's been hard times. But still showing up for yourself is exactly what you need to be doing. Surrounding yourself with people that genuinely fill you up and want more for you is exactly who you need to be surrounding yourself with.
Totally agree. We were just actually talking about this not too long ago, about how sometimes it's hard to know what that means to lean in. Like, what does that look like? Basically, it just means like, don't isolate yourself. Like, don't feel like you have to go through things by yourself. We're so much more than just workouts and shakes. We're a community who truly just want to support each other through the ups and downs in life. And it's really hard to find a community that is so positive and truly wants the best for each other. That's really hard to find. And I'm so happy that we have that here.